My peoples, my peoples. Yesterday was another great night of boxing, and it was capped off by Terrence Bud Crawford stepping in the ring and facing off with Canelo Alvarez. Their fight for September 12th was officially announced. We got to talk about it, my peoples. I'm Jay Smith. You already know that. This is Box Center, your favorite boxers, favorite boxing show. Let's talk about it, my peoples. We gotta talk about it. First off, the way the fights played out and what was the end result at the end of this card, which is, listen, Bud stepping in the ring with Canelo is something that I wanted to see. I actually said that, during the night as the other fights were taking place. I mentioned that, with Terrence Crawford being there, it would be great if he climbed the ring after Canelo wins his fight. I think, Canelo being the favorite, we were expecting him to win it. And in fact, I wasn't just expecting Canelo to win. I'm going to be honest, I was biased. I wanted him to win because, of course, I want to see Canelo versus Bud. I didn't want to see, William Skull make them fumble the bag. So we're finally going to get it, my peoples. But let's go back real quick. Martin Bakole versus Efe Ajagba. That was a good fight, competitive. At times it did feel like Ajagba was outworking Bakole, but then in the second half of the fight, Bakole stepped it up. Bakole stepped up the intensity, landed big shots of his own. Me personally, I felt like Ajagba edged it out. I felt like he could have walked out of there with the win. But the fight ended up in a draw. It happens. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. It was close. There were swing rounds that could have really gone either way. So I'm not mad at the draw. I thought Ajagba edged it out, like I said, but I understand the draw. I'm okay with that. Now, Jaime Munguia versus Bruno Soras, that's a fight that needed to happen for Munguia, and he got the results that he needed. You got to think about it, my peoples. When it comes to their first fight, Bruno Soras absolutely dominated Munguia and stopped him. It was a stop. So, shout out to Jaime Munguia for taking the immediate rematch because, with him getting stopped, you don't know how he was going to react. He could have said, nah, let's go on a different route. But he took the immediate rematch, made the necessary adjustments, and there you have it. Walked out of it with a W yesterday. Mr. Caio, good fight to come back from that knockout loss, Bruno. To Bruno, that's what I'm talking about, my brother. He took a beating in that first fight. But one thing that I've noticed right away in this rematch, he did not allow Bruno Soras to outwork him. Munguia was very active with that jab, whipping it out there. Also, he pounded the body early and often. So, Jaime Munguia, I feel like his plan was to come out of this fight and not be outworked. And it got to the point where you could see Soras was being very defensive and gun-shy. He already, saw the difference in aggressiveness, and he was gun-shy himself this time around. So we didn't see Soras fight Munguia like he did the last time, where you saw him shooting the combinations, trading punches with him. He wasn't like that. He was a lot more defensive this time around. So shout out to Jaime Munguia for taking the immediate rematch and making the right adjustments, walking out of there with the W. Yes. Now, I gotta tell you, Canelo Alvarez William Score, um, at times I felt like he was he was focused on not getting hurt or focused on not getting knocked out as opposed to actually trying to win the fight. Mr. Kyle, look at Devin's comeback performance from the ass whooping he took to Garcia. Haney and Skull both ran in fights, but at least Skull was more active. I'm saying you say at least Skull was more active, but remember, Skull lost that fight. Devin Haney walked out of it with the W. I'm telling you, I felt like William Skull was there to survive, to try not to get knocked out. He didn't look like he was trying to beat Canelo, like he was trying to take it to him. Very, very little punching and a lot of forward, a lot of moving around. So William Skull, man, he didn't feel like he was out there to actually win. He was out there to survive. But the highlight to me, my people, last night was when Terrence Bud Crawford took the ring. It's official. It's official tissue, my people. Terrence Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez is going down September 12th. That's it. No more wondering if the fight is going to happen, if it's going to take place, and people saying, nah, they're not going to fight. That's it. It's official. It's been officially announced, and I can't wait. I cannot wait, my people. Mr. Cayo, so who you got? Nah, I got Terrence Bud Crawford winning by unanimous decision. Easy work. Well, that's an exaggeration. It's not going to be easy work. I know that Dimitri Bivol made it look easy against Canelo, and Floyd Mayweather made it look easy against Canelo. I'm not saying that Crawford is going to make it look easy too, although that can happen. I'm not saying it cannot happen, but I got a unanimous decision. Canelo can take a shot. He's not just going to get knocked out. Crawford is just going to lay all type of hands on him. And that's the way that's going to play out. But, Crawford versus Canelo brings me a lot of personal satisfaction, and I'm going to tell you why. I've been asking for that fight for years. Your receipts are up. There's videos, and you can see in this same channel where I'm saying this is the fight to make. Terrence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. And if you look at the comment section, people are like, nah, that fight doesn't make any sense. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You guys, the people that say there's weight classes for a reason, this weight class, man, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up about your weight class for a reason. By the way, Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford faced off in the ring yesterday. I told y'all that Canelo looked like a giant in front of Crawford. You told me about people. By the way, hit that like button, man. Damn. Why y'all gotta be like this? One like? I got one like. Why y'all be doing me like this? Hit that like button. But yeah, did Canelo Alvarez look big in front of Terrence Crawford when they face off? I told y'all. Canelo is a very small 168-pounder. He's a small dude. He's small. So for the people who say, oh, he's too big for Crawford, Crawford is too little. Look what they faced off yesterday. Man, Crawford looked bigger than his ass. Crawford looked bigger than him. So, it's like I told y'all, man. It's not going to go down the way some people think. Oh, Canelo's so big and he's going to walk him down and beat him up and all this and that. Nah, it's not going down like that, my people. Terrence Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. First of all, look, man, His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh said that's the fight of the century. I'm telling you, that fight is huge. And my people, stop being cheap and hit that like button, man. Stop playing with it. But yeah, Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, that's going to be a huge fight. I'm telling you right now, I feel like it's going to do more than 1 million pay-per-views. More than 1 million pay-per-views. That's how I see it coming. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. Mexico versus the United States. The Mexican fight versus the African American. There's a lot of history behind that. You can go all the way back to Julio Cesar Chavez and Pernell Whitaker. And you can go further back. It's history there, my people. It's gonna be a mega showdown. And that's it. And while I was, because y'all know I'm doing the commentary for these fights. So when I'm doing commentary for this fight yesterday for Canelo, well, for the earlier fights, I would say, yo, Crawford is in the building. I hope that he climbs the ring. I want to see him climb the ring and make it official tonight. That's it. Because people been asking me, yo, is the fight official? Is it official? Is it official? I don't know. They haven't announced it. And that's exactly what happened. When His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh said Crawford come up, I was like, oh shit, they're gonna announce it. It's a wrap. It's about to go down. And that's the way it happened. Mr. Kaios, styles make fights. Mike doesn't sound good. Let me know. Sound better, my brother. Let me know if the mic sound better. Mic check. You're right, Mr. Kyle. Styles make fights, but I feel like Terrence Crawford has the style to outbox Canelo Alvarez. Let me know, my people. You're good now. Appreciate it, my brother. Appreciate it, my peoples. It sounds way better. That's what's up. So, again, listen. Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is going to be one of the biggest fights in recent history. John Parham, salute, my brother. So, you know, to me, it was a great night of boxing, and it was just capped off by Canelo and Crawford facing off. That's it. No more wondering, is this fight going to happen? Are we going to get Canelo versus Bud? You know, there had even been rumors the other day that the fight may be off, that it may be in jeopardy. But no, that's it. William Skull did not make them fumble the bag like Ryan Garcia. And look, I'm telling you right now, my peoples, I felt like William Skull was fighting to not get knocked out. He was fighting to survive. My peoples, I just got 3 likes, man. Don't do me like this. Hit that like button, my peoples. We talking that real boxing out here. Mr. Kyle, I want to see what happens when they exchange. I want to see it too. I could tell you what's going to happen when they exchange. Crawford is going to two-piece him. Pop, pop. Canelo's going to shoot his punches. Crawford's going to make a miss, slip some punches, get hit to the body, and move out of the way. Dry turkey. You can see Bud in the fight in the cakes. Skull bet on Canelo decision. Yo, listen, William Skull was not there to win. He wasn't there to win. He was there to survive. He was there to try to survive and look good, you know. But he did a whole lot to keep that distance between him and Canelo. Y'all saw a lot of lateral movement all night long. Left, right, faking left and going right. A long jab to keep Canelo at the distance and more lateral movement. This man was not there to try to, he didn't do anything to show that he was trying to win the fight. Hit the like button, my peoples. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, my brother. Mr. Kyle, facts. Y'all dummies tap the screen. Man, yeah, y'all gotta start hitting that like button, man. Some of y'all be cheap as hell. Liam, salute, my G. So yeah, listen, man. I feel like Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez is gonna do more than 1 million pay-per-view. I really feel that way. It's gonna be, you know, a major. By the way, it's gonna be in. Is it called Allegiant Stadium in the Texas Raiders venue, which is a huge venue, and watch how that fight is gonna sell out. They're gonna fight to a sold-out arena. Dry turkey. Skull looks the part, just doesn't play it. I mean, you can see that he's a very good boxer, right? You can see that he's a very good boxer. You can see the Cuban style. He just wasn't trying to, and he was effective at not taking a lot of punishment. You know, he walked out of that fight and didn't take a lot of punishment, but look, it was, you know, it was a snooze fest. You know, his stock definitely did not go up after that fight. Mr. Cayo, you think Bud could stop Canelo late in the late rounds? I mean, listen, Terrence Crawford has the power to stop Canelo if he catch him with the right shot. But it's very tough because number one, Canelo can take a big shot, and number two, it's hard to catch Canelo. You know, when I say the right shot, if you catch him with the punch he don't see coming, boom, and put his head on a swivel, you can stop him. But that's hard to do. That nobody's been able to. So with Crawford being the guy moving up, I know that he's very strong, but Canelo can take a shot. I don't think Crawford is going to get the stoppage. I think he's going to outbox him, and it goes the distance. JJ Sendejas, let's go, Jay Smith. I'm here. Yup, in Las Vegas Raiders Stadium. You know it, my guy. That stadium is huge, and it's going to be a sold-out crowd to watch Canelo versus Crawford. Watch. John Parham. Score looks decent. He just wasn't risking it. That's what I'm talking about. He didn't want to risk it. He didn't want to step in there. You saw that every once in a while he would throw two punches, and right away, more lateral movement. He was just trying to stay out the way. He went over there to get his check and not get knocked out. You saw when the last bell rang, he knew he lost the fight, but he was smiling right away, like, yo, I got my money, I didn't get hurt, I didn't get knocked out. He got a moral victory yesterday. John Parham, JJ, what's going on? At the stadium, Canelo versus Bud. It's in that stadium, my brother. If it goes the distance, I think they will give it to Canelo. I mean, John Parham, I understand why you say that, because obviously Canelo, number one, he's the biggest superstar in boxing, and number two, it could go the distance in a close fight where if it is close, they will give it to Canelo. But I'm telling you, my brother, Crawford is going to outbox him, and it's going to outbox him in a way that they won't be able to give it to Canelo. It's going to be a convincing win by unanimous decision, by the way. I'm being specific about that. Mr. Cayo, should Canelo retire after fighting Bud Crawford? I mean, I don't think that Canelo's going to retire on a loss. He's going to want to fight and fight a champion especially and get a belt and then retire. So I think, after losing to Crawford, he's not going to retire right away. Maybe Crawford can retire because I know he's going to get a huge payday and he already has a lot of money. So Crawford may decide to retire and focus on other things. But Canelo, I don't see him retiring on a loss. Liam, I've said earlier, if Canelo fight Crawford like the fight yesterday, then Crawford will kill him. I'm telling you, it don't matter how Canelo fight, Crawford gonna put the beats on him. Liam, wait, is that the studio? Yes, this is the studio, but right now I don't have some of the things up in here. I have it empty, I'm cleaning out. But yes, this is the studio. Check it. Mr. Cayo, I just don't see him losing to Crawford. But I do believe Bud outboxes him. I'm telling you, man, I've been seeing him losing to Crawford for a long time. And I see it the same way. I see Crawford outboxing him. And by the way, my peoples, they faced off yesterday. Most of you, if not all of you, had to have seen that face-off. Did Canelo look like a giant in front of Crawford to you? Did Canelo look huge in front of Crawford to you? I'm asking you as well, Mr. Cayo. Because, maybe you've had that argument like, nah, Crawford is too little, Canelo's too big, Crawford not going to be able to. Did Canelo look big in front of Crawford yesterday when they faced off each other? So that's all I'm saying, yo. Canelo is a small 168 pounder. Canelo is little. Leo, it looks crazy, amazing studio. Wish you many more. Appreciate it, my guy. Appreciate it. It's gonna look a little bit different the next time you see it. JJ's in their house. I'm gonna be on Crawford, and my second bet is gonna be on distance. Yeah, that's how I see it too. Mr. Kayo, nah, being real, underrated Will. They look the same height, just a couple inches. Nah, they didn't look the same height, man. They did not look the same height. You could see that Crawford is taller. That was obvious. Come on now, stop it. Don't do that to yourself. JJ said that. Thanks to the commentary on the fight last night. Good job. Hello, John. Appreciate it, my brother. You already know it. We got to do it. Sarah. Hi, I'm a fan. It's my first time on stream. Love you. Appreciate it, Sarah. You already know we talking boxing. We doing what we do. Enjoying the sweet science. I hope you enjoy it as well. Sarah. Hold on. Is this is not Sarah Liebman. I know it's not. It can't be. Mr. Kyle, Bud is taller. Yeah, Terrence Crawford is the taller guy. Underrated Will. They did, but it was by inches. Take a look again. Yeah, Terrence Crawford is not mad, a lot taller than Canelo Alvarez, but he is taller, and he has longer reach. That's important. At that top level, my peoples, I'm telling you, height and reach matters. Sarah, I love your content, but that's the first time I catch you on stream live. Okay. Well, I appreciate the compliment, Sarah. I hope you enjoy the show. I post videos every single day. So go ahead and subscribe to Box Center. I promise you, you're going to enjoy it. Underrated Will. But taller by an inch. Yeah, but look at the difference in arm reach. Look at the difference in arm reach. Bud gonna be able to punch him in the face from across the ring. Underrated Will. You going live for the Illinois fight tonight? Hell yeah, my brother. Hell to the yeah. You know the monster, my peoples, is going to be doing his thing. I'm expecting him to win in explosive fashion. Now y'all know it always delivers. Always. So we got to be looking forward to that fight for sure. JJ said their house. Can't wait for tonight's fights. Ooh, they're going to be good. They're going to be some good fights, man. I'm looking forward to it. Y'all know I'm going to be calling the action live, doing what we do. JJ's in their house. I'm sorry, Sarah. Crawford was Air Force. That's why he looks taller. Was wearing Air Forces. Nah. Measure. Crawford and Canelo been measured, obviously. And Crawford is taller. He is taller. And he has, some good arm length reach on Canelo Alvarez as well. But let me ask you, Sarah. Let me ask you a question, Sarah. Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Buck Crawford, and that's for everybody in the chat. This fight is official. It's been officially announced by His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. Who do you guys got winning the fight? Y'all got Canelo, y'all got Bud. You don't have to write a whole paragraph, just put the name down. Canelo Alvarez, Buck Crawford. Who do you got? I'm telling you right now, y'all should listen to Jay Stradamus. I'm trying to tell y'all, Terrence Buck Crawford is going to put the Swiss, the Dre, and the Apple beats on Canelo Alvarez. Underrated Will, Canelo. Damn underrated Will. Your feelings are going to be hurt. Mr. Kyle, your feelings are going to be hurt too. Damn. Y'all going to be hurt. Don't put no money. Don't lose your money betting on Canelo Alvarez. If you bet on Canelo Alvarez, listen, if you want to bet on Canelo Alvarez, you might as well take your money, go to the toilet, put it inside the toilet, and proceed to flush it. Because it's going to be the same thing. JJ's in their house. I'm betting on and Varga. Yo, the monster is gonna do what he does. I can't wait for that fight tonight. Crawford. Okay, JJ's in the house. You know what you're talking about. Crawford is the guy. He's gonna beat Canelo Alvarez. Mark is the God of War. I got Crawford winning. He is too sick and too good. Everyone's saying Canelo wins because he's bigger or crazy. They're literally the same size. The funny thing is that we just seen him go face to face. Canelo and Crawford went face to face yesterday. And look, to the people that are like, yo, Crawford is too small, Canelo is too big. Did you just not realize, if you had not done so before, that Canelo Alvarez is a small 168 pounder? He is little. Come on now. John Parham. So be on the same AB. Chris Fontaine, Crawford. Chris Fontaine, you know what the hell you're talking about. Crawford gonna put the beats on him. My peoples, hit that like button, man. Stop playing with me. Underrated Will. Crawford 5'8", Canelo 5'7". Don't say nothing when he catch Crawford with something stiff and fast. Come on, man. Canelo's not faster than Crawford. Why are you talking about something stiff and fast? You don't think Canelo's going to eat some stiff and fast shit too? Come on, man. Stop. Canelo's going to be eating some nasty leather. And Bud Crawford is going to be the faster fighter in the ring. Underrated Will. Bud speed not up there with Bud. Damn, there's going to be two Bud Crawfords in the ring. Underrated Will. And Canelo instincts is crazy. Yeah, like Crawford instincts are not crazy either. Like, we're going to debate about instincts. Stop playing, man. Stop playing with me. Canelo got bad feet. That's factual information. No footwork. Look yesterday versus William Score. He wasn't able to cut off the ring. Chased him around for 12 rounds. Underrated Will. Canelo cut the ring off. Yeah, like he cut the ring off on William Score. Horrible. What was the ring cutting yesterday when he needed it for William Score? Jay said that. Let's go hit the like button, everyone. Hell yeah, man. I got 12 likes, man. Y'all playing with me. But if you're saying Canelo is going to cut the ring on Terrence Crawford, why didn't he cut the ring yesterday on Williams' score? What happened yesterday? Chased him around for 12 rounds. Chris Fontaine. They had the big-ass red wall up around the whole ring. Damn, man. Damn. On Lace, Canelo voice, horrible fighter. Dapper. Could be a big upset. Yo, Terrence Crawford's going to beat Canelo Alvarez. It is going to be an upset. And I know that Bud is going to be the favorite. Don't get it twisted. I mean, Canelo's going to be the favorite. So if you put money on Crawford, you're going to win money. You're going to win money. Period, point blank. Liam. 22 watching and 11 likes. Damn, yo. People be doing me wrong. They watching and they enjoying the live, but they ain't not going to hit the like button. Why y'all got to do me like this? Mars is the God of War. Canelo started the career at 147. He's not that big. He's a small 168-pound fighter. Canelo doesn't know how to cut off the ring. He does this little penguin shuffle and just chases guys. Yo, we saw it yesterday, man. He spent 12 rounds chasing William Skull around. He just couldn't cut off the ring on him and get him in the corner. Just chasing the whole night. See, the thing about Canelo is that he needs his opponent to cooperate. He needs his opponent to stand in front of him and trade with him. And if he don't get that, we saw what happened yesterday. John Parham. I wouldn't call it an upset either. Either way. I mean,
it's gonna be an upset based on certain things. Like for example, with Crawford moving up two divisions, that's gonna make it an upset because obviously he's the smaller guy moving up. But also, you know, the odds. You know, Canelo's gonna be the odds-on favorite. Underrated Will chases them to fight, but if we get a fighter that is gonna fight like Bud, I think Bud goes to sleep. I mean, you don't know how Bud is gonna fight. You don't know how he's gonna fight. You see, this is the thing. Fighters oftentimes are more versatile than what people believe, than what people want to see. And I'll show you how versatility works. Look at Teofimo Lopez. We know that he loved to trade leather, that he liked to go bomb for bombs. But how did he fight his last fight? Footwork. Use mad footwork throughout the fight. Use the movement. Use every inch of the ring to beat Barboza. So don't think that Terence Crawford cannot use that footwork effectively on Canelo Alvarez. That he's just gonna stand there and trade punches, rock'em sock'em robot style. The God of War, Canelo had more skills at 154, 160. He should have good movement at 168 and 175. He's too stiff because he's a smaller guy gaining all that weight. He's a little tank. So, you know, that's why I tell people when every time I hear the Crawford is too small argument, I tell them, yo, have you seen Canelo? Has Canelo ever been labeled as a big fighter? Have you ever heard the phrase, Canelo is a big guy, or Canelo's such a big guy? Never. Everybody at 168 is bigger than him. So, at the end of the day, Canelo, a small dude. I'm going to put it to you like this. Canelo Alvarez at 168 is like Manny Pacquiao at welterweight. These are guys who are very small in the division, but because they're so talented, they're able to win. They're able to accomplish in a division where they're always going to be the smaller guy in the ring. JJ Zendejas, Crawford will change it up a bit, just like Rody. Can't wait. Yo, Bud is going to make the right adjustments. And you have to remember that Crawford is a switch hitter. He's going to fight Canelo from both ends, as a southpaw, as an orthodox. We're going to see it. We're going to see it. We're going to see him changing angles. We're going to see him using the footwork. See, this is the thing. A fight like yesterday's shows people how they can stay away from Canelo. That lateral movement. And Oscar De La Hoya said this before. Canelo, his footwork is like he's on quicksand. He's on quicksand. He needs his opponents to cooperate with him. What do I mean? Stand their ground. Trade with him. Go forward. Go at him. That gives him room to operate. But when he got a guy that he's the one that got to chase him around, you saw him. Canelo couldn't keep William Scott in front of him for 2 seconds. Couldn't keep him. He wasn't able to do it. He wasn't able to cut the ring off effectively. Salud, Bellerly. Bellerly, mi amor, te quiero mucho. Cuídame a mi niño. But yeah, my peoples, you know, JJ said that has no Diddy, J. Smith. Yeah, no Diddy. Pause. John Parham. It's going to be an interesting fight for sure. Yo, the fact that they finally made it a reality, they made it official, now we can get into it. You know, everybody will be talking about it. Everybody will have an opinion. I'm pretty sure every single platform has already posted about that Canelo versus Crawford face-off. That's it. is finally a reality. And to me, it's a certain level of satisfaction, my people, because I've been told when a couple years back I said Canelo versus Crawford needed to happen, I was told that I don't know shit about boxing. That fight is never gonna happen. There's weight classes for a reason. Blah blah blah. I had to hear it. I posted videos that if you see the people, what they commented on those videos, it was all about how I'm crazy, how I'm gonna think that this fight could ever happen. I don't understand that there's weight classes for a reason. What I understood that a lot of people did not is that there are weight classes for a reason, but size matters. So when two people face off, their physical size matter. And Crawford has physical advantages on Canelo Alvarez, which is height and reach. Those are physical advantages. So although Canelo has a wider body, Crawford has a taller and longer body. Physical advantages. So the difference in strength is all about opinion. We don't know what the actual difference in strength between Canelo and Crawford is. But I can tell you right now, Terence Crawford is a very, very strong fighter. Canelo's not just going to walk him down and try to beat him up. That's not going down. And when you see them side by side, face to face, you can see that Crawford is slightly taller, has longer reach, and Canelo didn't look big in front of him yesterday. That's my point. To all the people that say, yo, Canelo's too big, Crawford is too little. When they faced off, did Canelo look too big in front of him? You tell me. John Parham is going to do some numbers. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, my brother. I'm already projecting that it's going to do over 1 million pay-per-view buys. I'm projecting that. Look at that. Conor Ben versus Chris Eubank Jr. I seen a report that it did over 600,000. Over 600,000. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. That's going to do over 1 million. Watch. JJ's in their house. Money talks. Anything can happen. It's going to be a heck of a fight, man. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Buck Crawford is going to be a heck of a fight. Because one thing I won't tell ya is that anybody's going to make it look easy. Like, anytime I hear people say, yo, this guy's going to make it look easy, that guy's going to make it look easy, I'm like, man, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, what are you talking about he's going to make it look easy? We're talking about, you know, great fighters, championship caliber fighters, guys that been undisputed. Ain't nobody watching nobody. And it's mostly Crawford haters. It's mostly people that's going for Canelo to win that fight that are like, yeah, he's going to watch him. He's going to watch him. But realistically, nobody's going to watch anybody. This is going to be a real competitive fight. You got two very good fighters. And this is not going to be one of those where there's a very fast start and they trading leather for the first round, going at it, boom, boom, boom. It's not going to be like that. Those first few rounds, this fight is going to be a chess match. Canelo is not going to do what you think he's going to do, that he's going to just walk Crawford down and beat him up. He's going to be cautious. He's going to be using that jab. He's going to be using those feints, that movement. Crawford is going to be doing the same. They're going to be trading jabs for a bit. And we're going to see that Terence Crawford has the better, the faster, the longer jab when he put that thing in Canelo's face. JJ's in the house. Hopefully, the fight is good, that it might be a future trilogy. We'll see, because Canelo, he wasn't able to get a rematch with Floyd Mayweather. And he didn't rematch before. Is he going to rematch Terence Crawford? Maybe. Maybe. We have to see. We have to see. I think it depends how the fight plays out. Because although I'm not telling you that Crawford... although I'm not telling you that Crawford is going to make it look easy. But it can happen. And I'm telling you that it can happen because the two times that Canelo lost, he was made to look bad. That's real talk. Floyd Mayweather made it look easy. Dimitri Bivol also did the deal. So if Crawford makes it look easy, I don't think Canelo's gonna want a rematch. If Crawford, put hands on him and make him miss a lot, use that footwork effectively, frustrates him, I don't think Canelo Alvarez is gonna want to do a rematch. Personally, we shall see. Obviously we got to get to the first fight and see how it plays out. But I know that my prediction is going to turn out to be accurate. I know that my prediction of Terrence Crawford winning the fight, that's how it's going to play out. So you guys will find out. See, so, my people, here's the magic question. If Terrence Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez, what do you think he should do? Should he retire, or should he move down to a different division to fight Boots or to fight someone else, or should he stay at 168? Like I said, I got Crawford winning that fight versus Canelo Alvarez in September 12th. And to be honest, I respect whatever decision he makes. You Hold on, my peoples. Hold on. Stay with me. Stay with me, my people. Stay with me, my people. Hold on. I'm gonna go on mute real quick to handle something, but I'm still with y'all. Is Camacho still in the Dominican Republic? No. He actually flew back yesterday, and he is, I believe, in Texas right now. But Camacho Jr. will be coming back to Dominican Republic. He has an exhibition fight on, I can't remember the exact date, but it is in July. However, he'll be coming to the country a month before that for his training camp. So, espérame ahí. So he will be doing his training camp here in the Dominican Republic. I'm gonna be hanging out with him, doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. Macho Camacho Jr. He's a great guy, but he's also putting together a great show here in the Dominican Republic. So I'm gonna be giving you guys that behind the scene footage. And by the way, your boy Jay Smith is probably gonna be fighting in an exhibition. So y'all gonna see me throwing leather out there. My peoples, give me a second. I'm gonna go on mute right quick. I gotta say something to my son. So my peoples, like I was telling you, look at this dude. Look at this dude. So like I was telling you, Camacho Jr. will be coming to the Dominican Republic in July, and we're gonna have a lot of great content that will be exclusive for Box Center. JJ's in the house. Take care. See you tonight. God bless. We're getting Jay Smith 24/7 episodes. Yo, I'm telling you, man. Y'all gonna, once I finish this studio and I'm able to organize some things here and there, y'all gonna be getting all types of boxing from me, my people. Y'all gonna get, I'm working on a podcast. Can't wait to have the podcast ready, the studio, and it's a lot coming from Box Center, my peoples. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to those who haven't subscribed to the channel. And by the way, I seen some of y'all have been sharing my videos on different social media applications, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on IG. Yo, salute, man. I really appreciate everybody who has been sharing my content. I see that there's people, watching Box Center in Canada, in Australia, in the UK. Oh my God, yo, I'm surprised. Listen to this, yo. Most of the people that watch Box Center are in the US. But in second place is the UK. I'm surprised. People in the UK are second most watching Box Center outside of the US. So, that's crazy to me. In Australia, people tuning in Africa, many different places in Europe are tuning in. So I really appreciate it, man. Real shit. On Lace, are you going to be focusing on young talent coming out of DR? So yes, to give you a quick, and this is, nobody really knows this. The 23 people who are on this live right now are the only ones that know this outside of me, Macho Camacho Jr., and a few other people. So y'all getting an exclusive right now. Hector Camacho Jr. has his own promotional company, and he's working on signing fighters in the Dominican Republic and late level amateur fighters who are about to turn pro, and he's gonna sign them to develop them from zero and to make world champions. So Hector Camacho Jr. will become a major player in the game of professional boxing in the Dominican Republic. There you have it, my peoples. That's an exclusive. Down the line, y'all gonna see him making an announcement about that. He's gonna make a big splash. And you already know, I'm gonna be covering a lot of that stuff. I'm gonna be on there. I'm telling you, a lot of good stuff is coming. A lot of good stuff on the way. Unlaced, shining the light you have on them. Yeah, brother. That's what it's about. Giving them an opportunity to show their talent, because I know some real talented young fighters from out here who, they want to turn pro, but they don't know how to. Not that they don't know how to, but they don't have the people that's gonna, take them in the right direction. And Hector Camacho Jr. is gonna come out here and make a splash. Liam, can you turn pro without amateur or Olympic experience? I mean, you could turn pro without Olympic experience, but you need amateur experience to turn pro. You need it. Yes, sir. Because the thing is, for you to turn pro, they have to give you a boxing license. And for you to get that boxing license, you have to have some type of training, some type of fighting experience. They're not just going to allow you to fight professional when you've never fought as an amateur. So they'll deny you the license. Uncle Lace, that's going to include you, my brother. You're on your way up. I appreciate it, on Lace. I appreciate it, man. I've been working hard, in front of the camera, behind the camera, and I'm going to continue to do so. Branyo Romero. Oh, deleted the message. John Parham. I thought so. Liam. Do ask your coach for amateur fights or you sign up for some. Explain, bro. So if you want to fight as an amateur, all you have to do is go to any coach that trains amateur boxers. And, they'll train you for a certain amount of time. And after that, they'll take you to a tournament so you can participate. They have to sign you up and everything. Like, you have to get the way. Well, when I used to box, it was a physical card that looked like a passport almost. I don't know if now your book is going to be digital or how they do it now. But basically, once you go to a gym and get yourself a coach, he'll get you a card. That's where they put your wins and your losses, and he'll be able to sign you up to tournaments. You have to get yourself a coach and go from there. And by the way, you're not just going to go to a coach and he's going to sign you up for a tournament a week later. If you go to train as an amateur boxer, it's going to be probably 6 months or even more before, they sign you up to actually box. Branyo Romero, are you more convinced the Crawford beat Canelo after yesterday? Canelo horrible. I mean, styles make fights. So yesterday doesn't really, impact my decision. William scored, a guy that's going to use his footwork a lot. Canelo did do a horrible job of cutting off the ring. He was just chasing all night long. However, Crawford's not going to fight him like that. So it's going to be a different type of fight. I just feel like Crawford is more skilled. And no disrespect to Canelo, man. He's a great fighter, great. The face of boxing for a reason. But I feel like Crawford got what it takes to outbox him. Liam, how long that amount of time? I love this shit, but the motivation is down, bro. I feel it too. But I feel it's too late, but it's okay. Listen, bro, it's not too late. But the sooner you do it, the better off you are. The more you wait, then it eventually will become too late. But it's not. Derek Jones, Skull is a scrub. Don't say that, my brother. Listen. You could say he punked out. You could say he punked out of the fight. But he's not a scrub. He's a very, very, very good fighter. The thing is that he wasn't there to try to win. He was there to try not to get knocked out. That's how I saw it. He fought real cautiously and was successful. He never ate a big shot in that fight. He never got in trouble. He never got hurt. Took most of the punches to the body. Didn't take a lot to the head. And really, to me, that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to survive the 12 rounds, never get hurt, never get dropped, and get that moral victory and shit. Liam, I've already turned 20 yesterday. Ain't 19 no more. Nah, 20 years old, you still good, man. You still can box. You still can box. Listen, at 20 years old, let me put it to you like this, bro. There's people, amateur boxers, who turn pro at 24, 25 years old, and they still good. Even in their 30s. Some turn pro in their 30s. At 20 years old, bro, right now, you could start training. They'll get you in the ring 6 months to a year. They'll get you to your first tournament by the time you're 21. And guess what? By the time you're 25, you could have 30 fights. By the time you're 25, you could turn pro and you're still going to be in your prime with 4 or 5 years of amateur boxing experience. So 20 years old, my brother, is not too old. Don't get it twisted. Liam, why pro boxers fight so much fights in their beginning, but when they get popular, they don't fight much? That's a great question, my brother, and I'm going to give you the most simple answer to that. You got to remember, when you turn pro, your first fight, when I fought, what was that? A 4-rounder. So you're fighting 4-rounders, then you're fighting 6-rounders. So if you fight a 4-rounder, guess what? You're probably ready to fight again in a month. No problem. In a month and a half, you're back in the ring. 6-rounders, some guys fight 4 and 6 rounders for the first couple of years. So you could fight a lot more times when you're fighting short fights. But then, what happens when you get into that level that you're talking about? Now you're fighting championship fights. You're fighting 12 rounders. You're fighting better opponents. That even when you win, you get your eyes swole, you get your mouth broken, you get your nose broken, you take damage. And another thing that we boxing fans don't take into consideration, oftentimes when a fight is a brutal fight, the athletic commission suspends the fighters. Sometimes for 3 months, sometimes for 6 months. You can't fight if you're suspended, right? So part of the reason why fighters take longer to fight after they get to that level is because they're fighting tougher competition. They take more damage. The fights are longer. And, logically, it makes more sense. The Mexican G. I missed a fight yesterday. How did Canelo look? Well, Canelo, he looked good. The only thing is that he didn't do a good job of cutting off the ring. Williams scored, running around, a lot of lateral movement, a lot of backwards movement, just moving. And Canelo chasing him the whole night. So, it wasn't a fun fight to watch. Very little action. But that's the type of fight William Score made it. The Mexican G. I see Munguia. He looked improved. His jab looked sharp. And the defense looked improved. Reynoso seems to be the right coach for him. I agree with you 100%, my brother. And big props to Jaime Munguia for taking on an opponent who, think about it, Sorasi knocked him out in their first fight. He could have went in a different direction. He took an immediate rematch, made the right adjustments, and put the beats on Bruno Sorasi. One thing that I want to point out, though, is that in this fight, he did not allow himself to be outworked. If you remember the first fight, he was chasing, and Sorasi putting hands on him, outworking him, putting combinations on him until he ultimately stopped him. This time around, you saw that Sorasi was very cautious. He was gun-shy after seeing that Munguia had that approach where he was letting them hands fly on him. So, Munguia, one of the adjustments that he clearly made is that he was going to let them hands fly. He was going to be very active with that jab, very consistent, and them shots to the body. Left hooks, right hooks to the body from Jaime Munguia. He made it happen. Shinobi, Method Man. I'm not Method Man, but that's one of my favorite rappers. Hi, Maxa. I love America. Okay, brother? Thank you for sharing that, my brother. You're from, I don't know how to pronounce that, Kazakhstan, something like that. But I'm not from America, my brother. I do cover boxing, and most people think I am in the U.S., but no. I'm actually in the Dominican Republic, my brother. The Mexican G. Yes, major props to Munguia. KO losses sometimes ruin a fighter. He came back and fixed his mistakes. That's what I'm talking about. You got to give him credit for that. And especially, listen, fighters get knocked out, and they don't want a rematch with the guy that just knocked them out. Munguia went right after the smoke. You got to respect that. Got to respect that. Liam, Canelo should retire. I mean, he's only 34 years old, I think. He's either 34 or 35. So you don't have to retire. He still has, what it takes to perform at the highest level. So you don't have to retire. But if he wants to, he can. Liam, I thought you're American as well. First time I saw your accent, it's so good, bro. So, no, I'm not American. I actually grew up in New York, though. I moved to New York when I was 8 years old. And I lived there, till I was an adult. So that's, you may notice that I have a bit of a New York accent. The Mexican G. Canelo is slowing down, but I think he has a few good fights in him. I believe that too. And I got Crawford beating him in September. Canelo's not gonna retire on a loss. He's gonna come back, fight somebody else, become a world champion, and then retire. That's how I see it playing out. Now with Terence Crawford, I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna play out with Terence Crawford. Simply because if he beats Canelo Alvarez, at the 168 division with no rehydration clause, that's it. What can Terence Crawford haters say about him? What can you say? Like, if you're the person who's always hating on Crawford, who asks crazy questions like, oh, who he be? Like, if you're that hater, what are you going to say if Crawford beat Canelo Alvarez now? Sarah, the highest paid boxer right now is Usyk. The Mexican G. I thought that Dominican Republic is American territory. Or maybe I'm thinking of Puerto Rico. Yeah, that's Puerto Rico, my brother. That's Puerto Rico. So, the highest paid fighter right now is Usyk. I don't know. I don't know that for a fact. I'm almost certain that it is Canelo Alvarez, but I don't know. I got to see the numbers. Plus, I don't know what Usyk made versus Bivol. I don't know the purse and all that. Ozzy. Bo was looking big next to Canelo. And Ozzy, I know you must have seen me say before in our lives that Crawford is taller, got more reach than Canelo, is weighing in the 170s. Come on now. Canelo's not a big dude. He didn't look big in front of Crawford, just like I said. I told a lot of people, when they face off, you're going to see if Canelo is going to look huge in front of Crawford. And we saw how that played out yesterday. Liam, I've just searched for Usyk and Canelo number 2. But when you say Usyk and Canelo number 2, is that the purse for this year? What purse? Are we talking about the purse for the last fight? What exactly are we talking about? Because I'm going to tell you like this. When Canelo Alvarez fight Terence Crawford, he's going to make a bigger purse than any purse Usyk has ever made in his career. I guarantee you this. Liam, fights should stop being happening in Saudi. There was no fans yesterday, bro. I mean, it's His Excellency Al Sheikh putting that money up. The fight's gotta happen over there when they choose to. I didn't notice that though, by the way. I thought there was a big crowd. John Parham, Usyk just became the number 1. Okay, probably the couple of fights with Dimitri Bivol. Canelo's going to gain that number 1 spot when he fight Crawford with that one fight. Ozzy, Canelo might look bigger on weighing unless Buck comes in crazy shape. The Mexican G, I like to mention that I don't like Canelo or Crawford. Liam, that's cap, the Mexican G. You might not like either one of them, but you want Crawford to lose. So by default, you like Canelo. John Parham, Saudi tickets cost a lot of money. Liam, Canelo ain't making $100 million versus Crawford. So you tell me, Liam, how much is Canelo making versus Crawford? Do you know? Ozzy, Mexican G, it's a loyal hater. Oh my God, a loyal hater. But he's not as much of a hater as Hash Bass. The Mexican G, Saudis don't historically like boxing. Boxing is mostly popular amongst Latinos and Americans. Not Europeans, hold on. Don't leave Europeans out of the loop, my brother. Come on now. Because if you think about the UK is big on boxing. If you think about Italy and now Australia, they're in the scene. Australia got multiple champions. The Mexican G, my hate towards Crawford is justified. I mean, I understand after he beat the crap out of Errol Spence, people hate him even more. But just got to give him his flowers. He's the great one. All day, every day boxing. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you dropping in, man. We talking about this Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez fight going down September 12th. Who you got winning that fight? I'm trying to let everybody know that Terence Buck Crawford is gonna whoop Canelo. I don't want it to catch you off guard. If you already had a feeling it was coming, if I put it in your subconscious, then you're not gonna be as hurt when it actually happens. The Mexican GO shit. I forgot about the UK, yo. The UK's in the building, my brother. As a matter of fact, look, when I checked the Facebook report, the country that watches Box Central the most is the US, right? But in second place is the UK. People from the UK are tuning into Box Central and sharing these videos. Jose Sanchez, come on, are you serious? No chance for Crawford. You probably said that when Crawford was going to fight Errol Spence too. You probably said that Errol Spence was too big for Crawford and Crawford was going to get stopped. And you saw how that played out. No chance, you're going to get your feelings hurt, my brother. I'm trying to tell you. Ozzy, you can't beat Canelo without a masterclass. That's exactly what Crawford is going to put together, a masterclass. Bomac is going to put together the perfect game plan. And Crawford is going to execute. All day, every day boxing. But all day, every day. Liam, we need Jay Smith on the zone. I'm trying to make that happen. I'm really trying to make that happen. Put me on the zone, put me there, calling them fights, and I'll deliver. That's it. Eddie, listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. Eddie Hearn, he don't follow me on Instagram, but he knows who I am. Eddie Hearn has seen a lot of videos from me. And he's a very smart guy. I'm pretty sure he knows what I could bring to the table. I'm just waiting. Yo, Eddie, hit me up, man. I'm waiting. That's all it is. The Mexican G, we just got to wait and see. Canelo did look old yesterday. I mean, look, honestly, I don't think that Canelo looked old. I felt like Canelo just, like, yo, Oscar De La Hoya said it a long time ago, my peoples. Canelo Alvarez footwork is like he's on quicksand. He don't have great footwork. And when a guy's going to use that lateral movement consistently on him, guess what? He has a hard time catching up. He has a hard time getting his opponent in front of him. So even though William Skull lost yesterday, but he reminded people of Canelo's horrible footwork. I guarantee you some of what we saw yesterday from the footwork in William Skull, Crawford was checking it out. Bomac was checking it out. And they're like, yup, this is something we're going to be able to exploit on him. The Mexican G, I've never heard of Skull. And if Canelo could have stopped him, that's not a good look. I mean, it's hard to stop a guy that you can't even get in front of you. And Canelo did even right after the fight, I can't remember who was talking about it. And, oh, yeah, this guy, Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs was saying, yo, he did a horrible job with cutting off the ring. And I was saying that, like, bro, you chasing throughout the whole fight. Ozzy, hard to look good against a Cuban. Yo, but if you at least cut the ring, you're able to, unleash some combinations. Jose Sanchez. Let's get the facts right, everyone. Try, but it's just about a payday. I mean, I don't know what you mean it's just about a payday. You think fighters don't want to win? Fighters don't want to make history? Fighters want to do more than just get a payday. Now with William Score, he looked like he was there to not get knocked out, collect his paycheck without getting beat up. But like I said, man, it's also if Canelo Alvarez is fighting a guy that's going to use his footwork, it's up to him to cut off the ring and make it happen. Yesterday was a boring fight because William Score was on his bicycle and Canelo Alvarez could not effectively cut off the ring and catch up to him. Liam, 150 million guarantee for Canelo versus Crawford. 80 million for Canelo yesterday fight. Patrick Bateman, unless Canelo deliberately look bad to fool Crawford into a false sense of security. Nah, I don't think so, my brother. Canelo's never, I promise you, Canelo will never deliberately look bad. What happened yesterday is that William Score was on that bicycle all night long, was very effective with that lateral movement, and Canelo just couldn't cut off the ring effectively. But this is not the first time that we see somebody using footwork and Canelo not able to cut off the ring. We saw the same thing with Dimitri Bivol. He just couldn't do it. We also saw that with Erislandi's Lara. Even though Canelo beat Lara, but till this day, people feel like Lara won that fight and used that footwork effectively on. And that's what I mentioned earlier, that Oscar De La Hoya has stated in the past that Canelo doesn't have footwork. Ozzy, Bivol thinks Buck can do it. He has a lot of confidence. And I seen the interview where Dimitri Bivol says Crawford can outbox him. Charles Mills, Canelo outlanded Score by 1 punch. That's not very significant, and I'm gonna tell you why right now. The Mexican G, he wanted a payday. Charles Mills, you think yesterday Canelo will beat Crawford? I think Lara won. I used to not think so, but after rewatching, I think Lara won. You see? And Lara, you saw that he used that footwork very effectively on Canelo. Now, as far as... Hold on, let me see some of my peoples. As far as Canelo outlanding Score by only 1 punch, you got to remember, that's not always 100% accurate with regards to this. CompuBox counts punches that touch you, but it doesn't count, if they landed clean. It doesn't count if they landed hard. It just counts that they touch you. So if you're like this blocking, right, and your opponent shoots a left hook, and that left hook hits you in your arm, bang, that counts like a landed punch. But that's just CompuBox, right? That's just a computer counting. That's somebody putting the numbers in there. But the judge saw that punch was blocked, so he's not scoring it. So that's something to keep in mind with CompuBox numbers. It doesn't count punches that land flush. It counts just punches that land anyway. Partially blocked punches, those are counted in there as landed. Liam, Canelo will come back to highest paid boxer after September, of course. Of course. He's going to be the highest paid boxer once again. Patrick Bateman. Has Canelo's defense dropped? To be honest, Patrick, his defense has dropped a little bit. He's not doing as much head movement as he used to. He's not slipping punches as much as he used to. So I feel like it has dropped a bit. Charles Mills, Cubans give Canelo trouble. Lara's also a Cuban. And you saw how that played out. Liam, Floyd called it 6 years ago. He said, if Ryan beat Rolly, I'm going to give him $200,000 cash. And there you have it. We saw the way that and it's crazy because I've been telling people that there was going to be an upset. Somebody was going to be upset. I don't know who, but there's going to be an upset. And look, I actually predicted that Ryan Garcia was going to knock Rolly out by round number 9. That's what I predicted. But that's what an upset, god damn, that's what an upset is about. Everybody think this is going to happen, and something totally different is what takes place. That's what an upset is about. Rollies did his thing. And he made them fumble the bag. The Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney rematch, that's probably all for now. Charles Mills. That means Canelo landed less than 50 punches. I mean, I'm not even sure how much he landed, but like I said, I'm not knocking him for it because, you know, he had a guy that was not there to fight. I understand it. You know, when somebody's there to survive, to not fight, they're very hard to hit. They're very hard to hit. The Mexican G, Canelo definitely beat Lara. Lara threw single shots and ran a lot with the fight. He looked good in the early rounds, but once Canelo started landing body shots, he mostly just ran. I mean, he did a lot of movement, a lot of footwork, but I don't know, man. You know, it was a very close fight. There were some swing rounds that could have went in Lara's favor. It was a close fight. And Canelo ran into some problems with that footwork. So we're seeing it. We're seeing the recipe. The recipe to frustrate Canelo. The Mexican G, I thought Barboza was going to pull off the upset. Me too. Well, I didn't say, I say he had the best chance of pulling off an upset. He had the best chance. But I was favoring Teofimo to win. And I like that fight for Teofimo Lopez because he proved that he doesn't have to fight Rock'em Sock'em Robot type of style. He doesn't have to, you know, be involved in a dogfight. You don't have to. He can outbox you too. And he showed it on Friday. So, yo, salute to Teofimo Lopez to stepping in there, outboxing his opponent thoroughly, making it happen. The Mexican G, I told everyone Rolly had a puncher's chance, but I favored Ryan to win. Yo, same with me, my brother. You know, we all know Rolly's power, but it's like he's not gonna beat Ryan if it goes to the, you know, goes the distance anyways. He beat him. But salute to Rolly's trainer, Salas. Favorite Cuban coach. Yo, Salas got Rolly's looking sharp. Got him looking sharp. We saw Rolly's that was using that jab, that stiff jab. Bam, bam. When have you ever seen Rolly's jabbing consistently to the body for 12 rounds? Bam, bam, that jab, that stiff jab to the body. And then he ended up setting Ryan up and catching him with that double left hook that dropped him. And after Ryan Garcia took those 2 punches, he was never the same. He was gun shy, fought defensively, never really let his hands go after that. And that's all she wrote. Liam, I thought Haney will lose, and that's what I placed on the parlay. Damn, man, going against Haney is a problem. And Haney, and look. You may have seen it. I said it multiple times in different lives. If Devin Haney is going to be using that footwork, using that jab, moving, he can make it look easy. And that's what happened. That's what happened. Jose Ramirez could not, for the life of him, put Devin Haney in front of him and land a good combination. He just couldn't do it. Unless, hit the like button. No C-class fighters over here. Hell yeah, my brother. Can't be treating me like I'm a C-class fighter getting lumped up. I'm giving y'all the real deal Holyfield. The Mexican G. I knew Haney was going to outbox Ramirez in a boring decision. Ramirez is just too old. His fighting style ages fighters quick. I mean, I think if Devin Haney would have went toe-to-toe with him, would have decided to, you know, trade leather and fight inside of a phone booth, Ramirez could have had a shot, but that's not the way that Devin Haney decided to fight. Liam, Haney versus Ben is happening. Bill Haney talked with Ben and both agreed to make it happen. And Ben manager too and father, so we'll see some. I believe it. Because remember, Conor Ben was thinking about going back down to 147 and fighting Ryan Garcia. That was actually the plan. If we don't do the fight with Chris Eubank Jr., we're going back down, we're going to fight Ryan Garcia. But Ryan Garcia fumbled the bag, taking this loss to Rollies. So I could see Conor Ben and Devin Haney, and I like that fight. I like that fight. The Mexican G, Haney versus Conor Ben, that's an interesting fight. I believe so. And you know why I think so? Because Devin Haney will not be able to fight Conor Ben the same way that he fought Jose Ramirez. Conor Ben will cut off the ring effectively. He will apply the type of pressure that will force Devin Haney to fight. The Mexican G, I think Conor Ben gets the W. I'm not sure, man. I got to think about that. You know, I wouldn't even render an opinion until that fight becomes a reality. Because I really got to think about it. R. Smith, Haney not fighting Ben. It could happen. Don't say that. Devin Haney's about that smoke. The only person Devin Haney don't want to see in the ring is Shakur Stevenson. That's the only one. Then everybody else, Haney's winning a fight. On Lace, where does Garcia go now? Take another year off? Look, Ryan Garcia, it's a big star. He's going to be able to do whatever he want to do. Of course, he needs a win. So there's two things that he can't do. Number one, he can get an easier fight to be back on the winning column. Or number two, he can do a fight with a big name. Because I'm telling you, if Ryan Garcia says he wants a rematch, he can get it with Rolly. The only fight that Ryan cannot get right now is Tank Davis. He's not going to give you a rematch coming off of a loss. But if Ryan want to fight Teofimo, he can get that fight. If he want to fight Boots, he can get that fight. But those are fights where he could catch another L. And I know he don't want to take consecutive losses. So let's see. But he's going to have options. He's going to have, he's going to have to make a decision what he want to do going forward. The Mexican G, Haney looked very gun-shy on Friday night. I agree with you, my brother. I agree, but that could have been part of the plan too. They decided, we took a nasty beating versus Ryan Garcia. We don't need to take punishment like that. Let's fight this type of fight to get out of there without taking a lot of punishment. That could have been the plan all night long. Liam, Tio versus Boots, what percentage it could happen? Look, that's a fight. If I say percentage-wise, right now, I'm going to give it a low percentage. Hard to put a number on there. I will say 20% that it could happen. And I'm going to tell you why I'm putting a low percentage. So, I can't remember which sanctioning body said that if Ryan Garcia and Boots both win, Ryan Garcia was going to be mandated to fight Boots. Well, Rollies won that fight. So, I got a feeling Rollies is going to be mandated as the mandatory to fight Jerron Boots, and it's for one of his titles. I forgot which one. That could actually happen. So, Rolly's got a better chance to get the fight with Boots than Teofimo Lopez because of that. Now, if Rolly drops out and says, I don't want to fight him next, then maybe Teofimo does have a chance. Maybe. R. Smith, Ryan and Haney should retire. Now, I don't agree with you, man. These guys are in their mid-20s. They still got their whole career ahead of them. Love more Hinduism. Ryan showed us he's a one-dimensional fighter. I mean, look, honestly, I believe that Ryan Garcia, he was doing very good before he got hurt, before he got dropped. And Rollies started letting his hands go even more after sitting Ryan Garcia down on that canvas. And that just changed the optics of the fight. You know, Ryan became gun shy, stopped letting his hands go. Rollies got more aggressive, more confident. And that's it. That shaped how the fight played out. Liam, Ryan versus Boots ain't happening. I wish it happened, goddamn. Bam versus Chris was the best fight in this year since January till today. Conor Ben versus Chris Eubank. That was a war, heck of a showdown. But we also have to consider Dimitri Bivol versus Arthur Beterbiev 2. That was a heck of a fight too, my brother. I think those two fights are in the running for fight of the year right now. My peoples, I'm about to end this live, but before I do, I want to say, hit that like button, man. Y'all almost got me to 20 likes. It's 23 of us in here, and I got 19 likes, man. Why y'all got to do me like this? Come on now. Leo, why Chris didn't give Ben a chance for a rematch is good for both of them. Now, listen, supposedly, Chris Eubank, not supposedly, Eddie Hearn said this. Chris Eubank and Conor Ben do have a contracted rematch. It was a 2-fight deal to have a rematch on there. But, you know, Conor Ben could decide, you know what, I want to go back down to 147 and get, you know, a huge fight with one of these guys. Or he could do the rematch and then go back down to 147, fight one of those guys. But the rematch, supposedly, it is under contract as per Eddie Hearn. Peace. That's what's up. Peace, Mr. J. Smith. My peoples, I'm about to get the hell out of here. Again, remember my prediction is Terrence Bud Crawford is going to beat Canelo Alvarez in September. Unanimous decision. That's the way it's going down. But I appreciate you dropping in, my peoples. I appreciate everyone who hit the like button, everyone who subscribed to the channel. By the way, I posted a couple of new videos today, my peoples. Don't miss those new videos. And y'all already know, man, Box Center. This is your favorite boxer's favorite boxing show. This is going to be the #1 boxing YouTube channel. I'm headed for #1, my peoples. It's only the inevitable. So share these videos with the people around you. Share them on Instagram. Share them on all social media platforms, Facebook and all the other shit. Let the people know this is where it's at, my people. Yo. God damn. Big ass motorcycles passing by here. But I digress. Yo. Peace to everybody. Love to everybody. Salute. I'm out of here, my peoples. Talk to you later. Peace.